Megajared here, guys, and welcome to
In the Closet.
We're never coming out. In the closet. Anyway, so it's a new series. I want to start, or not a series. I don't know what the hell it's gonna be. Okay, I just want to tell a story.
That's what J's.
Wearing socks. The hell do you mean don't touch your J's?
Socks are J's.
Oh yeah, those are Nikes.
Okay, so I was in 2nd grade and I had this friend named Dylan, right? And I remember Dylan was like the king of tag, you know, he's my best friend. We were both 8 years old, like, you know, living it up on freaking sugar and high seas, you know. Okay, so I was like, hey Dylan, can I play tag with you guys? And he's like, well Jared, be aware, I am the tag king. And I was like, okay. So he let me join tag, and we played tag for about maybe like a couple minutes or so. You know, it was really fun. And then a little bit down the road, I invite him over to my house, and I'm like, hey Dylan, you want to come over to my house? Like a month or two. And he was like, yeah, sure. So we went home on the bus that Friday, and then we got to my house, and he brought over this family pack, like a big bag, like a family pack of dill pickle, Mountain Dew, 2-liter, and then he brought over like chips and burgers, and I was like, hey Dylan, can I have one of your burgers? And you know what he said to me? He was like, no! And I was like, what do you mean no? I was like, can I have some chips? No. Everything I said, he was like, no. I was like, can I have some burgers? No. And I'm like, geez. So I had these Oreos, and I went and got them, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go pick out all my Oreos then. So we went into the kitchen, and there were my Oreos were sitting in the cupboard. And I was like, ooh, cool, Oreos. And I grabbed them, and he tries to take some too. I'm like, I take them for myself, you know. I'm like, hey, these are mine. And then guess what happens? I eat half of them, I eat some of them, you know. Then I put them back. So after I put them back, this little ass snuck over there to my cupboard, and guess what he did? He went over and took them. He legitimately grabbed them out of my cupboard. And okay, so I was looking the other way. So I was looking away at the TV or something like that, and then this guy just has the nerve to go eat my goddamn Oreos, like, and I'm like, what the hell? You're eating my Oreos? And he's like, yup. And the next day at school, I was like, I came up with a nickname for him. I'm like, Oreo, because everybody was getting nicknames, you know. And I was like, Oreo. I'm like, I should call him Oreo, you know. So he's like, Oreo, don't call me that. And I was like, you know what, you ate all my Oreos, so you're gonna pay the price now, asshole. And I was like, Oreo, not in a mean way. But then, you know what happened? Everybody else started calling him Oreo. Like, I was like, Oreo. I kept calling him Oreo, and then you know what happened? Then, next thing you know, Shane and Trenton and Rose and everybody else in the class were like, Oreo, and he's like crying, he's like, Oreo. Here I am just feeling bad, and I'm like, god damn, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you like that, you know, I'm not calling you fat or anything. And he's like, whatever, it's fine. So I give him a hug, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But then you know what happened? We're sitting in class, and then the freaking teacher, like, the phone's like, the phone rings, and the teacher's like, Jared, you get your goddamn ass down to the office right now. And I was like, oh shit. So I walked to the office, everybody looked at me like, and I walked to the office, and you know what happened? I got to the office, and then, you know what was there? There was this lady sitting at the desk, and I always used to fake sick, right? So this lady was sitting at the desk, and she looked at me all snobby, and she was like, let me guess, you're faking sick again. I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm in trouble. She's like, oh man, you better get your hell ass in there. Like, go, get in there. I'm like, okay. So I walked in there, and the principal is sitting at his desk, he's like, hey. I'm like, what? And he's like, what is this commotion going around? Who started this, and what are you gonna do about it? And I was like, I don't know, but I can show you who did it. And he was like, well, come on then. Let's go for a little walk. Let's go see who did it. So then he put down his pen, and he got out of his chair, and here we go. We went for the goddamn walk to the classroom. So we're going to the classroom, and we get to the classroom, and guess what happens? I'm like, here's who did it. And they're like, no, you didn't do it. You started it. And I'm like, no, they did it. And they're like, no, bullshit. Bull freaking shit, honky. And I'm like, no, you did it. And then the most wackiest thing happened. The principal said, hey Jared, you come to the lunchroom with me, and you know what? We're gonna have a little talk. And the talks with the principal were the scariest things ever. So we walked down to the lunchroom, and it was just horrifying. You know what I mean? Because I got to the lunchroom, and there was these benches in the morning, one to the left, one to the left for girls, and then one to the right for boys. So anyway, we sat down, And you know what he did to me? He got up all in my grill, and he was like, Jared, what is an Oreo? And I'm like, you know what I said? I was like, what do you mean, what is an Oreo? He's like, what is an Oreo? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, what is an Oreo? I was like, I don't know. Wait, no, I said a cookie. I was like, what's an Oreo? He's like, what's an Oreo? And I'm like, it's a cookie. He's like, well, what is it? I was like, it's a cookie. And he's like, what is it? I was like, it's a damn cookie. And then he gobbled my girl. Like, what's it? Freaking punched me up in the face. And then next thing you know what I did? And I pushed him off me. I was like, get the hell off me. And then you know what I said? I was like, an Oreo is a cookie. And then he's like, you know what he said to me? He was like, what does it mean? What does it mean? What the hell does it mean? I'm like, I don't know what that means. Is there supposed to be meaning behind the goddamn cookies? Yeah! He was like, you're supposed to be meaning the cookies, man. I was like, whoa! Anyway, so I was like, what do you mean, what does it mean? A cookie doesn't mean anything, you know? It's dip it in milk, and that's about it, you know? And then he's like, well, it has to have a meaning, considering for him to get insulted by it. So, you know what he said? He was like, go sit in the buddy room. The teacher's like, hey, you stay in that goddamn chair. I'm like, shut up, bitch. And next you know, I sat in that chair, and that is the story about the first time I have ever gotten detention in my entire life. You know that? I got punished over a damn cookie, and they freaked out on me, and it was just all hell. You know that? Over a cookie. And then I finally get back home, and then, you know what happens? Nothing. That's my story. Don't judge.